am going to explain the concept of subject verb agreement. It is a very important grammar concept. Please listen to me carefully while I am explaining this concept. There will certainly be questions with regard to subject verb agreement in your English exams, so please be all ears. What is subject verb agreement? Subject verb agreement means that the subject and the verb must agree in number and person. If the subject is singular, then the verb has to be singular. If the subject is plural, then the verb will be plural. For example, the boy plays football. If the subject is singular, add s to the verb. If the subject is plural, you will not add s to the verb. The boys play football. If the subject is singular, then it's obvious that the verb should be singular. For example, he plays, she sings, it works, Ria dances, the dog barks, Rohan studies hard, my sister likes music, the baby cries loudly. If the subject is plural, then the verb will be plural. We will not add s or es to the verb. For example, the boys play cricket, the girls sing beautifully, my parents work in Chennai, he plays, they play. This is one of the most important rules. Now, the third rule is when two subjects are joined by and, then we will use plural verb. Riya and Ananya are friends. The teacher and the students were present. Ravi and his brother play football. If two nouns refer to one person or one thing, we use it as singular verb. If one person is doing two roles, then it is a singular person. For example, the teacher and principal is coming. Both the teacher and the principal are the same person. uh, if the same person is both the teacher and the principal. Another example, bread and butter is my favorite food. Even though bread and butter are two different food items, it is a combination of two different types of food items. So it will have a singular verb. The two items are considered as one combination. When subjects are joined by or nor, then you will use singular verb. For example, either the teacher or the students are responsible. Whenever you are using either or, if the second subject is plural, then the verb will be plural. If the second subject is singular, then the verb will be singular. For example, either the teacher or the students are responsible. Either the students or the teacher is responsible. Neither Ravi nor his friends are coming. Neither the students nor the teacher is available. To look at the subject closest to the verb. If the subject is closest to the verb, then you will use that verb. Either the boys or Ria is coming. Either Ria or the boys are coming. And whenever you are using each and every, then you will use singular verb. Each student has a notebook. Every child needs care. Each of the players was given a medal. Every student in the class is required to attend. We will never say each student have a notebook. That is wrong. We will always say each student has a notebook. Each student has all the stationery materials. Each of, and when do we use each of or every one of? Whenever you are using words like each of or every one of, then you will use singular verb. For example, each of the students is hardworking. Each of the players has a uniform. Every one of the books is useful. Each of plus plural noun plus singular verb. When will you use either and neither? You use either and neither, uh, you are basically using either and neither when used alone as subjects generally taken as singular verb. Either of the two subjects, either of the two answers is correct. Neither of the boys is ready. Neither answer seems correct. Neither of the boys are ready. And when do we use collective nouns? We use collective nouns when we refer to a group. For example, team, family, committee, class, jury, audience, army, government. When the group is considered as one unit, use a singular verb. For example, the team is playing well. The committee has taken a decision. My family is going on a holiday. When the members are acting individually, a plural verb can sometimes be used, especially in British English. The team are arguing among themselves. So, whenever you use as well as or along with, then the expressions do not make the subject plural. For example, Ria along with her friends is coming. The teacher as well as the students was present. So whenever you use words like as well as or along with, then use singular verb. Now let's talk about the then subject. You use not only and but only. The verb generally agrees with the subject nearer to it. For example, not only the teacher but also the students are excited. If the subjects are near to the verb, then use only that verb. Not only the students but also the teacher is excited. And for uncountable nouns, take singular verbs. For example, information, advice, furniture. These are uncountable verbs. You are supposed to take singular verbs. For example, the information is useful, the furniture was expensive, his advice was helpful, the news is shocking. So you are supposed to use singular verb. News always takes a singular verb. The news is true. The news was surprising. Good news has arrived. Words ending in s but taking singular verb. For example, mathematics, physics, economics, politics. Mathematics is my favorite subject. Physics is difficult for some students. Economics is an interesting subject. The names of the books, movies, and newspapers. Even if titles contain a plural word, the title is treated as singular. For example, the Arabian Nights is an interesting book. The Times of India is a popular newspaper. Amounts of money, time, and distance. When you're talking about the amount of time, distance, and weights measures, then you have to use singular verb. For example, 10 kilometers is a long distance, 5 years is a long time, 500 rupees is enough. So when individual units are discussed, you will use singular verb, not plural verb. 5 years have. When you are talking about individual units, then it's always better if you use plural verb. 5 years have passed. Whenever you're talking about fractions and percentage, then use singular verb. For example, half of the water is wasted. 50% of the work is complete. Plural, if it is a plural countable noun, then you should use plural verb. Half of the students are absent. 50% of the students are ready. And whenever you are using there or there are, okay, according to is and are, you will use the subjects. For example, if the noun is one, if there is the noun is singular, then you will use the word there is. If the noun is plural, then you will use the word there are. There is a book on the table. There are five books on the table. There is a problem. And whenever you are using relative pronouns like who, which, that, the verb agrees with the noun to which the relative pronouns refer. She is one of the students who work hard. He is the only student who works hard. So, if whenever you are using one of the, okay, you will use after one of the plural noun and then you will use main verb. She is one of the students who worked hard. She is one of the players who have won medals. The important subject is one, not students or players. A number of words is the number of. This is very important. A number of plus plural noun plus plural verb. A number of students are absent. So when you are saying a number of, then you will use plural verb. A number of students are absent. And if you are mentioning the number, then the number of students is increasing. So whenever you are using more than one, okay, then you will use singular verb. Okay, more than one person was injured, more than one student has complained. And whenever you are using many a, then you will use singular noun and singular verb. Many a student has faced this problem. Many a lady is coming to the party. And you can use gerunds and subjects. We use ing verbs as nouns. Then in that case, you will use singular noun. Reading is a good habit. Playing football is enjoyable. Exercising is my passion, like that. And whenever you are using infinitives and subjects, then it takes a Singular verb. To read is a good habit. To help others is a noble act. I have explained the rule of subject verb agreement clearly. I hope you have understood the rules. Thank you so much and have an amazing day.